So you were away last week, huh? So I wanted to find out if you
I was away last week, yes.
Okay, thank you. Just clarify. I wanted to know if you heard one of our ministers speaking about the water situation.
Went to the hotel for a bath. That could cause me to swear. Funny enough, I had a thought this morning when I was training. I was like, we have really lost control in this world. 7.5 friggin' billion people, and we have lost control. I was trying to do some maths. I was going, I mean, how many countries in the world? 156? How many countries in the world?
100.
You're on ChatGPT. You can friggin' figure it out quickly.
Yes.
Total number of countries in the world. I think it's 156, 165 or something like that.
195 countries.
Okay, so we have 195 countries. So
Euro.
with 195 countries, I don't know, how many politicians do you think would be in each country? On average, what's the average size? Like, what would be the total number of politicians represented through those 195 countries?
Total number of politicians represented in those 195. So there's no official number.
Oh, give me an estimation. Thanks, chat.
So it ranges from anything from 100 to 600 members.
Okay.
So let's just say, it says here 195 countries times plus minus 250 legislators average equals about 48,750 national legislators.
Great. So 7.5 billion people are being held ransom by how many people?
48,000.
48,000 friggin' people.
That's actually quite funny.
Well, who makes all the rules, and
those people
who buys all the cars, and who flies
showers in hotels,
they want to fly, and does whatever they want to do all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just everywhere in the world.
Everywhere in the world.
We just, as people, we've lost control.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, because it was Sona last week. 7 million rand was spent on that thing.
Imagine how many houses we could build, and how many people in Alex, for example, we could help and feed. And I don't know. I think across the world, and I mean, we talk about politicians or bureaucrats, but I think this world is becoming so self-serving that people are just becoming so materialistic and only interested in their own gain, stuff everyone else. What happened to serving other people, Sully? What happened to looking after humankind? What happened to helping your brother and your sister and the next door person?
That's a great question.
What happened to uplifting the rest of the world? What happened to that sort of stuff?
I don't know, and I think that is such a great question that you asked, right? What happened to serving other people? And it's like simple things, and we speak about it a lot. I think one of our good examples that we use is on the road. Simple, like all of a sudden, so you know that road on the Linksfield turnoff when you come up.
Yeah.
In the morning now, it's 3 lanes.
Well, yeah.
It's not. It's one lane.
That's one lane.
It's one lane, but now it's 3 lanes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, guys, we all, and I get that we all have somewhere to go, and
everyone's got somewhere.
100%.
And then people cut you off, and then they swear at you and shout at you, and you're like, I'm actually just sitting in the traffic doing what I should be doing.
Yeah.
On my way to work in the right lane.
Yes.
And you now are upset with me because I wouldn't move over, or I moved over, or you moved over.
I'm supposed to be, hey, this is what the road is doing. You have to go, like, follow the herd. And I'm like, but I don't want to follow the herd because what the herd is doing is wrong.
But have we not just lost the ability to serve other people? Serve other people. But we become so self-serving in this world. It's just me and what I want and my ideas and my ideologies and everything else. Stuff everyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, and comments like that, like our minister going to the hotel to have a shower. Well, how many people can afford to go to the hotel to have a shower? The reality is those people are paying every single month, whatever it might be, rates, taxes, working to build an economy so that they can have running water.
Yes.
That's the deal.
That's the deal.
Let's just get running water first before we ask for hot water.
Yeah. We're not. Yeah. Fair. We're not trying to be
But
fancy. We
but
just
but
want
but running water.
clean
Get it?
running water.
Running water. The basics that we should be providing to the people in a country.
Yeah, we don't
Like,
do that.
Working roads.
Yes.
Working transport system.
Mm.
That sort of thing.
Do you think?
Working electricity. And you know what? Once you do that, if you want to reward yourself with a big car, I don't have a problem.
If you're doing your part, if you're doing what you're supposed to do,
100%. We talked about it last week around business.
Yeah.
Business owners will drive these huge friggin' cars and then screw their employees.
Yeah.
It's there's no exchange, and that's just give your employees, give your teams a good benefit. Let them grow, and if you, because you took the risk and all that, I get that, want to reward yourself once your business is making profit, as long as everyone is in fair and equitable exchange. There's nothing wrong with that.
So how much would you say that has to do with our economy and our unemployment rate, right? The lack of service delivery. How much do you think that?
No, we're greedy, Sully.
Okay.
No, the world is just greedy. The world is, let's go away from South Africa. Go to the States.
Yeah.
I mean, you have these politicians that are earning, I don't know, senators earning $175,000 a year, and their net worth is $30 million.
That's crazy.
How do you go compute that?
You can't.
In 5 or 6 years.
It's not.
Compute that. You can't. It's come from somewhere.
Yes.
It's come from somewhere, and generally it's come from some flipping back-end dodgy dealing, and that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I'd
agree with that.
I don't begrudge people creating wealth.
No.
I don't.
Create it.
As long as you create it in the right way, as long as you create it by uplifting other people. But how do you get that? I mean, I don't know, the past speaker of Nancy Pelosi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at all the figures and the wealth that she's created. Goodness me. I'm just like, come on, man.
That's pretty wealthy. Yeah.
But where does that come from? It's greed, man. You build a business and you take all the risk, and you take the risk and you create something.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of people are not. What are they creating? Where are they creating? When you build a business, you create something bigger, and you make money and you generate profit because people come to you and spend money.
Yes.
Does that make sense? And you add a service.
Yeah.
In countries, we elect people.
Yes.
If you are creating a better economy and creating better roads and creating something that is flourishing, and the majority of people are getting a better life, a better standard of living, then I don't have a problem with you rewarding yourself.
Mm.
But when we reward ourselves based on creating what? I don't know. I think we have a moral, ethical dilemma in the world. That's just how I look at it. And I know many people are going to sit and say, what can you do about it? That's the question I'm posing. Well, I don't know what all in my little piece of the world, I can do something about it.
Yeah.
I can do something about it. I can uplift people. I can use my business to create something different. I can do my little bit, like Buckminster Fuller says, I'm just a little man. What can I do? What's my job in the world to create something different?
That's such a huge question.
If each one of us just do a little bit more, just a little bit to uplift somebody else. If each one of us, instead of being an asshole on the road, actually just respects somebody else and lets them in, and that friggin' horrific murder of that Bolt driver.
Lord.
Where are we going, Sully? Where are we going? Two people get in a car, and there's a young man trying to earn a living
21.
to get himself through school,
21.
and he loses his life because two people wanted what? I don't know, wanted a cell phone, wanted money, or whatever they did it for. I'm like,
they didn't even take the car.
Where have we lost our morality, our ethics? Where's that gone?
That is a great question, right? And I think that, so funny enough, I was actually trying to stay away from that video. Just like I saw it once, and I literally felt like, and this is going to sound weird, but I felt like a piece of my soul died, because I was like, wait a minute. You guys just decided to kill on whatever whim. You guys just decided today is the day that this person dies. You made that decision. How do we live in a society like that? How do we live in a world like that, where people are this is how we operating on a daily basis, right? With the crime stats and the level of violence that we have in this country. This is where we at. And like you're saying, we've lost our morality. But what do we do to get that back? Not even get it back, to start fixing it. How do we start fixing it?
I, phew, for me, I think it's an individual goal.
Okay.
What is each one of us going to do to make a difference?
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you create a movement of people making a difference? Paraphrasing, I think it was Margaret Mead said, the only thing that has ever changed society or a country is a small group of committed citizens.
Yeah.
So what are we going to commit to? How do you commit to, in your sphere of influence, in your area, how do you commit to doing something better, uplifting people, making a difference? Because, yeah, I just, is it going to change on a mass scale? No, but nothing changes on a mass scale until it changes on a small scale, and then it creates momentum and change. But I don't think it's just, I just look at the world. I just think the world's a shit show. I
No, it's
do.
on fire.
I just look at the world. I mean, you go into the Western world, if you want for terminology, but you go to America, you go to Europe. I mean, they're creating problems because they don't have any real world friggin' problems anymore.
Mm.
I mean, their problems are all around taking offense with what you called me and all that sort of, and it is, in my world, is bullshit, man. Why are we not looking at uplifting human beings?
Yeah.
And, we're at the influence of so many agendas being played out all over the place. People play out agendas by controlling school systems, by controlling media and all that sort of thing. And, if we just take it back to what's the core fundamental of life? Funny enough, I watched Dennis Quaid in Noah yesterday.
Okay.
I had a 2.5 hour cycle in the gym that I had to do. So I turned on Noah. It's 2 hours, 20 minutes. And I watched the whole of Noah. And just when he builds the ark,
Yeah.
God comes down, the creator comes down, it just wipes out humanity. It was just like, that's it. I've had enough, man.
Cleans it out.
And what was the core theme? Man thought they were God. Man became like gods, and man was self-focused. Man, me, myself, and I.
Back there.
And it was like, boom, God chose Noah and said, restart the whole thing. But you know what was interesting? God didn't wipe out the animals. God took two of everything and restarted. Why? Because the simple spirits continued living, because they just get on and do what they do in life.
Yeah.
And that's our deal with, I mean, this could be a pretty deep conversation to go here. But the reality is why are we not caring for other human beings? Why are we not caring for our jobs? Why are we not being good stewards of what we have? You get a job, be a good steward of it, look after it, get paid, earn more, create something better. You have a business, you borrow some money, be a good steward of that money, grow the money, pay it back. You become, I don't know, you become a father, you have children, be a good steward of your children, build up your family, be a good, it's the core morals and ethics. It doesn't matter where we come from, what our religious background is, what our, yes, I get it. We can go into conditioning and all that sort of stuff. But I still believe that the core baseline of morals and ethics exist, and the world's, like you said again, a friggin' shit show, man. It's just, it's become so selfish. I mean, you look at America and Europe, agendas being pushed all over the friggin' place. And
the thing is, I actually feel like we are, as South Africa, are currently slipping into that same thing of agendas, of irrelevant things being pushed at us, and now we're making them relevant.
But why aren't we looking after our own home front?
Yeah.
That old saying, charity begins at home. Charity begins at home. Look after and build your home front first.
Yeah.
If I want to build a strong family, I have to build me first.
Yes.
So it's not about it. It's all about me. But I have to make sure that I am strong and I am and my mind is right in order to build a strong family. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
If I build a strong family, my strong family can build a
It's
stronger community, and a stronger community can build, and so we go.
yeah.
But we're not looking after our backyard. We're not looking after, again, it goes back to huge, and I'll put it back to that simple thing of self-serving. As long as I can get stuff everyone else,
Yeah.
I'm going to take whatever I can take. But and it happens. It's happening in business. It's happening in bureaucratic circles. It's happening in churches.
Yeah.
It's happening in communities. But it's and for me it comes down to that thing. Why we've lost
morals.
largely the ability to serve other people and to go, how do Buckminster Fuller, Alan C. Walter. Alan has a wonderful saying: everything we do in life can we do for the greatest good of the greatest number of people. Yeah, in fact, Buckminster Fuller said that when he defined a purpose. He said, if you spend your life trying to find your purpose and you never do, but everything you do in life is for the greater good of the greatest number of people, be rest assured you're on purpose.
Yeah.
So
Not the greater good of me.
Yeah, and isn't that the problem? Most people, or too many people, are so focused on the greater good of me. If I get, then maybe there's a little bit for everyone else, but it's just about me.
Yeah, I gotta get first.
Rather than actually, if everything we do, I mean, in my business, every decision I make, do I want to live a better life? Of course I do. Yes, but every decision I make in my business, I focus on, is it for the greater good of the greatest number of people?
Yeah.
Is it for the greater good of the team in our business? Is it for the greater good of our customers? Is it for the greater good of my suppliers? The decisions we make and how we make those decisions.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
For sure.
At times, some people may lose, but it's for the greater good. And not a greater good, not greater return, not greater profit, but the greater good. In other words, when I look at that, it's that everybody benefits, the greater number of people benefit and have a change. It's not, today's world is about, I don't really give a shit. It's about me. And as long as I get the greatest good, well, if there's a little bit left over for you, so be it. And it's very sad, man.
Yeah. And, the thing is, I mean, I think we all saw that video, that clip about, going to a hotel. It did the rounds, right? Everybody's had their piece, everybody had their say, and everybody was upset. My take that I took from it, as funny as I found it, because I was like, yes, you are completely and utterly out of touch with the greater good of the people of this country, right? You do not understand. My take.
Maybe.
Or
maybe not.
No, the greater good of his circle. The greater good of no. But even if you watch that video, when he said what he said, nobody that was sitting with him or behind him flinched. If I was sitting there, I would have went, what?
You'd have been like that. There's that little. It always comes on the meme.
Which one?
The colored guy that's sitting there, and he goes, "What the?"
Yes, that guy. Yes,
that's what I'm talking about.
I would have been that guy. I'd have been like. Because I haven't had water for 8 days. Nobody told me about going to the hotel. Like, what up? But
the reality is sure. So, but the question is you're paying for water, Suli.
Yes.
It's not like you're not paying for water.
For sure.
It's not like you set up on the corner of somewhere and you're demanding to have water. I get that.
Yes.
You're paying for water.
Yes.
You're paying your taxes.
Yes.
You're paying for service.
Yes.
Get the water.
Yeah.
It's
pretty simple.
It's like you're paying Vodacom for your cell phone.
Yeah.
You demand,
I
get cell phone.
Yes.
And guess what? If you don't pay, they cut you off.
Yes.
And that's fair.
Fair. But very fair.
But I tell you what, you have water, you get water, but you don't pay, they'll cut you off.
Oh, yeah. Very quickly.
Where's the exchange? So it's fine to cut you off when we're giving you water, but it's not fine to give you water while you're paying.
Yeah.
But you can't go and jump up and down and say, well, I didn't have water for 8 days, so where's my refund?
Yeah.
Where's my pro rata? Because your service sucks, where's my pro rata comeback?
No, we don't have that.
Yeah, because it's not run like a business.
No,
There are no major consequences. There is no accountability. And whereas in our business, you have to deliver. If you don't deliver, people vote with their wallets, they vote with their feet, and they walk away, and your business shuts down.
and I think that's the funny thing of what's been going around as well is like people are talking about, guys, November, now you know what to do. You need to vote them out. Da 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 da. And I'm not saying that voting doesn't make a difference. It kind of does in my world. It kind of does make a difference. But the truth of the matter is what difference are you actually making for you first?
What will make a difference only is if each one of us actually gets up and does and delivers on the job that we're
supposed to deliver on. And then I feel like we then sit in a position where we are better suited to hold our politicians accountable.
Well, just hold anyone accountable.
For sure.
Just take it back into business. If you're not delivering on what you promised to deliver on,
get fired.
How can you hold me accountable?
Oh no, I can't.
So, and if you're trying to hold me accountable and I can't, and I'm not delivering on, both of us go into agreement that's okay to suck.
Yes.
So then we justify. Until it affects me, then I'm going to jump up and down and blame you. But it's too far gone.
Yeah.
So it's that instead of actually just holding the space and going, because I can only control me.
Yeah.
So if I just control me and deliver what I can, and then because I'm not what I can, but deliver on my promise.
Yes.
And in good conscience, I know that I'm delivering on my promise and doing what I promised to do.
Yeah.
Well, then in all good conscience, I can hold you to that.
Yes.
And if you do it, you can hold me to it, and we can hold everyone else to it, and you start getting better and better.
That's a flow.
And it's not this case of not making mistakes, and it's this idea of being responsible, responsibility, taking responsibility for my actions, taking responsibility for me, not. And we teach this in our programs. Going below the line. One of the most powerful things I've ever learned from Blair Singer is this idea of going below the line. Responsibility is above the line. Below the line is excuses, blame, justification, denial. And we create all these stories. And that's what we do is we justify, oh, well, that person should be able to do that. Oh, well, I couldn't. So we spend a lot of time justifying, denying, making excuses and blaming instead of actually just taking responsibility. I stuffed up. I didn't do it. I'll fix it. You don't have water for 8 days. Hey, Mr. Steele, how's it? Really sorry. We stuffed up. We'll fix it and it'll be done today.
Yep.
No problem. Then do it. But if you phone whoever does your water, one, you probably won't get anyone.
I don't even think there's a landline.
you won't be able to get anything done. And if they do promise you something, it's highly unlikely that.
Oh, no. I feel like what's basically happened, and and honestly, this is just my opinion. Donald Trump has created a world for politicians where you can run your communication through social media. And I'm saying that because this is what I was seeing with when we didn't have water.
Yeah.
The updates were go and check our social media accounts. And I'm like, first and foremost, I don't have time to go and scroll and search for I'm just. Can you just tell me when I'm getting my water back?
100%.
You're telling me about go check the X page. We put out an update an hour ago.
So take the same person. Let's just take the scenario. They're not going to get paid at the end of the month.
Yeah, check the.
Would they be happy with their HR? You phone HR, say, "Where's my salary?" Oh, sorry, we're fixing the problem. Go pay. Go check my social media account.
No, that hates it.
I mean, I'll take it back. I was with a client last week, and I used an example that I often use when I'm talking to teams. How come in most businesses, the one thing that always is delivered on is payroll? Okay, I say most businesses. Most businesses, reputable businesses.
Yeah.
The one thing that is delivered on and in a room I ask employees, I say, when do you get paid? 21st, 28th, or whatever the day is.
Yeah.
And then I say all the time, yes. And then I ask why. Oh, no, because we have an agreement. I go, that's not the reason, but anyway, why else? Oh, because we did our job. Oh, so every single one of you did your job. And then I get some sort of giggles and laughs, and I go, well, for some of you did, and for others you didn't, but you all got paid, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's owed to us. Oh, okay, great. But the reality is none of those things. The reality is that somebody in HR who's responsible for payroll makes sure that it gets done, holds themselves to a huge level, a high level of accountability. And on the 25th or 26th or 28th of the month, they push the button and everyone gets paid. It's done. And why? Because if it wasn't done tomorrow morning, everyone would be jumping up and down, shouting and screaming, and that person would have a problem.
Yeah.
Then I ask this question. Next time you make an excuse, whatever division or department you're in sales or you're in operations or whatever division or department you're in, and you sit in a meeting and you make an excuse for why you couldn't deliver on what you agreed to deliver on. Imagine that the HR person is standing in front of you giving the same excuse why you didn't get paid, and tell me that's okay. You see, that's the problem. Is if it affects me, then you must do it. If it doesn't affect me, it doesn't happen. So, you watch. I mean, there's been a couple of social media posts of municipality workers. I don't know if you've seen them. A guy goes, at some stage, we need to go and check that these people are lying on the side of the road are alive.
Oh man, the one with the grass.
So but the reality is there's some people, they're being paid. But I promise you, if they didn't get paid at the end of the month, they wouldn't be sleeping anymore. They'd be jumping up and down, shouting and screaming why they didn't get paid. But if someone went and jumped up and down next to them, shouted and screamed why they weren't digging the ditch and using your tax municipality dollars properly, there would be a huge frigging problem.
Why wasn't there more uproar to that image? I feel like there was a bit of a contradiction between the steers thing and that image that did the rounds. People went nuts and crazy for steers. How dare they? How could they? Da, 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 da. These guys are sleeping. For people to say we need to go check if they're lying tells you something.
So we're asking for service delivery.
Yes.
People are upset about service delivery, roads and everything, but we don't get upset because people are lying on the side of the road sleeping while the grass is being cut or the roads are being fixed.
Yeah.
But
baffling.
My take, because there's such a lack of accountability and many people are not even accountable in their own jobs, and that's just represents the way we operate. How many people are not doing their job every single day and are going through the motions and waiting to get paid?
Lots of people.
So so you go back to accountability. When you are out of exchange and you know that you're not doing, how do you jump up and down and complain that someone else is not doing what they should be doing?
Yeah, it's tough for you to do that. But I mean, I feel like they should have made a bit more of a hoo-ha, considering that you wanted to have that steers shut down without any context.
I mean, those have been classic things that have been around for years, man.
Right.
How many municipality workers does it take to dig a hole?
17.
Well, 17. One to dig the hole, two to watch when someone's coming, and
the rest to supervise.
But you also got the dude making sudsra and pup.
Oh yeah,
and making tea.
Yes, they're busy.
And the reality is it's productivity. Where are we productive? Where are we actually going to do whatever that job is? And I say municipality, but I see it in businesses all over the place.
For sure.
Where people are rocking up and demanding they get paid and not delivering and making excuses. That's why I use that HR payroll deal. Because if in business your payroll person can deliver every single month, why can't everyone else deliver? Why are we
same level of responsibility and accountability?
100%. Yeah. Because it lacks that. Because we're just not committed that I'm going to do what I'm going to do. What we want is we want what I want first, then I'll decide to do it for you. Rather than actually, I'm going to deliver. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. Because that's what I should be doing. Because that's what I've agreed to do. And if everyone does that, guess what? Our economy changes, the pie changes, everything grows. Everything grows. And when everything grows, everybody grows.
Yeah.
You know that saying, a rising tide lifts all ships. But it's the same. A sinking tide sinks all ships.
Yeah, I think right now we're on a sinking tide when we should be on a rising tide. And I think it's kind of the most concerning thing. And I wanted to ask you this, and your genuine belief of how much you believe in this, because you've said it to me a lot of times before. If you get a job, do the job, honor the agreements of doing the job.
Yeah.
Do it every single month, every single day, whatever it is, do it. Do you genuinely believe that if you do that, you go above and beyond? And I'm not saying, and I think this is also where people get it confused. There's a difference between going above and beyond and getting abused or abusing yourself, right? In the sense of work.
Sully, you make the choice.
Cool.
Okay, so you make the choice.
Mhm.
And you see, I'm getting abused. So I get a job, I come work for you.
Mhm.
I'm a sales guy.
Mhm.
And my agreement is I got to go out and make 10 calls a day.
Yes.
And I go out and make my 10 calls a day and I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
And you're happy with me.
Yes,
Okay, great. And I go out and decide I'm going to make 20 calls a day.
for sure.
Why am I abusing myself?
Are you abusing yourself? No, you made a decision to go and do
Great.
20 calls a day.
Or you sit down with me and say, okay, Barry, I'll tell you what, I think you can do 20 calls a day.
Mhm.
And I go, great.
Cool.
I
You
think I can.
okay? Cool. We've agreed.
So are you abusing me?
No.
Okay.
I asked you, answered.
Okay. Now you'll only be abusing me if I say, yes, I can make 20. If I make 20 and do this, what do I get in return?
So this is yes. Thank you.
And
Exactly where I was leading to.
And now off I go and I deliver on the 20. You give me what we agreed to get in return. Where's the abuse?
No abuse.
You know, I say to you, Sully, we're on a friggin' huge deadline, chum. We need to do A, B, C, and D. We've got to get, okay, so we're building a new website, for example.
Mhm.
We need it up and running by the 1st of March. Can you get it done in the next 2 weeks? Non-stop.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, I don't pay you to work 12, 14 hours a day.
Mhm.
It-
Yes. No, but yeah.
But if you're committed to the business and you want to get it done because it's important to the business and important to our results, then you're going to do it. But you have the trust that in time, over a period of time, your income will increase, you'll benefit from the business, and you'll go from there.
So
Does that make sense?
yeah. So, but how important is it? And I think this is the part where I think that people miss. How important is it for me then, as the employee, to have that conversation with you? Sully, we've got this deadline, 2 weeks. Can you get it done? Yes, I can. If I may ask, if I do deliver on X in the 2-week time period, can I get an extra Y?
Great. And I go, right now, so do you understand where our business is sitting? No. However, if that website produces and we go online and we start selling, I tell you what,
Mhm.
we can sit down and I will organize that I pay you a percentage of all stuff that comes in. How does that sound?
Mm.
Because the reality is, for example, if a hypothetical example, we can't afford to pay extra because we're trying to get our business running and we're
Yes.
trying to do this, but you have the expertise. So I need you to come to the party
Yes.
and deliver. What I say is, no, I can't pay you more at the moment to deliver on that,
Mm.
but I will create something in the future for you if we hit these results. How does that sound?
Fair.
Great. Now you go do it. Because it's about negotiation.
Yes.
But somebody will come in and say, no, that's unfair. You worked 14 hours a day. You're abusing the guy. No, I'm not.
Mm.
You and I had an agreement.
Yes.
And guess what?
100%.
When we hit the targets, if I honor my delivery and you get a piece of that, well, we're in exchange.
Yeah.
If not, guess what?
We have a problem.
No, but you can get up and leave
Oh yeah.
and go somewhere else. And what I do know is if you really are performing, somebody else will honor that agree. You'll get that coming from somewhere.
Mm.
And guess what? Suddenly I lose a great friggin' website builder and social media guy. And then I'm like, oh shit, well, who created that? Me. Because it goes back in exchange.
Yeah, I feel like that's where people have the misunderstanding, right? Because it's one, the importance of having the conversation, being open and honest. Look, you're asking me to work an extra 14 hours, for example. Can we do X? Right now, no, we cannot do X. But once this is achieved, we can do what? We can do that. How does that sound to you? You know what, Barry? That doesn't sound good to me right now because of where my life is at right now. So I'm gonna have to respectfully decline. People are not doing that because, and I
okay, great. And then I am going to have to find somebody else who's going to help me get it done because I need it done by the 1st of March. Otherwise, and then I'm going to have that discussion with you. Sully, if you can't do it, I'm going to have to bring somebody else in to do it.
Yeah,
because I need it done. But that's working together. I mean, shouldn't we be doing that in our families? Shouldn't be? That's working together, saying what needs to be done and
how do we make this work?
100%.
Yeah,
do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, and I feel like it's the same in terms of like our communities, like you're saying. How do we come together in our communities and go, how do we make this work for us? Right? We are here every day. We can sit and complain about the politicians and say whatever they're doing and all of that, but they're not here. We are here.
So I mean that goes back to, there's a lot of opportunities in the world, and people want the opportunity, but they want to have the opportunity. And then when you sit down and say, here's an opportunity for you, if you go do this, this is what you can get. And then it requires a little bit of risk. And sometimes it requires a little bit of an investment. Okay. But people don't want to do that. No, I want to have what I want to have before I get it. I'll give you an example. So someone comes to me and says, I want to make some more money. I go, okay, great, no problem. That's fine. I tell you what, I'll go back to my book example.
Yeah.
Go see if you can borrow can you get access to 1,000 rand? Yes, I can. Good. Go borrow 1,000 rand. Come and buy 5 books from me. Okay. And then go sell those 5 books. And you can buy the books from us at 200 and you can sell them at 300 and you'll make 100 a book. Oh no, I don't have any money. I know you don't have any money, but I said, take a risk.
Yes.
And what I'll do is I'll give you the option to get some books. Now go do it.
Yeah. I'll give you the option.
Oh no, I don't want it, but I want the money. And people don't do that. You know, come to a seminar and come and learn about wealth creation. How much is the seminar going to cost? It's $1,000, 1,000 rand for 2 days. No, I don't have any money. No, but I thought you wanted to learn how to make money. Yes, I do, but I don't have any money. Well, could you get the money? Yeah, I probably could. Okay, well, go get it. No, I don't want. Does it make sense? Is this, we want to have what we want to have, but we're not prepared to do whatever it takes. We're not prepared to, as Alan Walter says, success is the ability to define a want and then do what is needed to be done to get it done. And in our world, hopefully legally, ethically, and morally.
Yeah.
But when I look at it, I go, how do you make what are you prepared to do to make it happen? Most people don't want to push themselves into a situation to get it, but they want it. But then they'll complain about why they don't have it. Then they'll complain about why their life sucks in us. And it's for everybody, it's different. It's a different journey. For some people, you have to go borrow 500 rand, use that 500 rand, learn how to turn it into another 500 rand. Yes, your journey to $1 million may take longer than the person that could borrow 10,000 rand. But that's our journey.
Your level on journey.
We have this perception that everybody, based in certain places, that come from certain places, that grew up in certain places, have all the same type of opportunities. No, they don't. In fact, you probably had more access to funding and money than I ever had.
Funny thing is, I actually think there was a point in time where I had too much access to funding and money, and I didn't realize
I didn't have
what it was.
I grew up, didn't have any access to funding and money. Yeah. So, but perceptions would be,
oh yeah, of course,
that I grew up and I had way more. But the reality is it doesn't actually matter what I had or didn't have. Is what do I do with what I do have or don't have, and it comes back to what do I want to have and what risk am I prepared to take. When I went to the States and went on Blair's the course in 2007 with Blair Singer, and then said, how do I learn to do what you do, Blair? And he said, buy a franchise. And I said, okay, how much is the franchise? It was over $200,000. I didn't have $200,000 US, not even friggin' anything minutely close. I just left the corporate world. I was living on my provident fund that wasn't going to last me very long. I had a whole lot of expenses that I'd accrued that I still had to pay for. I was financially, I was in a bad place.
Yeah.
And I had to find a way to make this work. By the time I left the States, I'd committed to buying a percentage of the franchise with another 2 partners, and I had to find $100,000 US. I didn't have $100,000 US, but I had to find it. Does that make sense? And the mere fact that I took that risk and went, because I sign on the dotted line and because I'm committed, I'm going to make it happen. Most people don't want to commit, Sully. They want to have what they want to have. They don't want to frigging commit. You and I are doing a High Rocks.
Yeah, bro.
Well, we committed.
Yes.
The ticket's paid for.
Yes.
Okay. So we're in.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get more committed because you're going to pay for the accommodation.
Sure.
But does it make sense? Now we go book our accommodation. We pay for the accommodation. We're in.
Yeah. It's happening.
So, but people don't want to do that because you might say, well, I don't have, $1,500 for accommodation. I'm like, well, dude, find it because you're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, does that make sense? Now, your willingness to go find it, to do what's needed to be done, to get there, to make sure you're at that starting line, that's up to you.
Yeah, bro.
It doesn't mean you have 1,500 rand lying around or whatever the cost of accommodation is. That doesn't make sense. But you go make it happen. You put some skin in the game. We've talked about skin in the game.
Yes.
And now you're in. People don't want to put skin in the game.
Yes.
And
for
all of us, there's different levels of skin in the game. But in order to go to the next level, you have to have some form of skin in the game. I mean, I sat down with someone the other day and go back to it. They said they want to generate additional income. I said, great. Here's an opportunity for you to generate additional income. It was actually in the network marketing space. Here's an opportunity. Your investment is 1,750 rand. Yeah, I don't have that money. I said, okay, well, if you want to learn and you want to do this, then that's what it takes. And that person for 3 weeks has been sitting around doing nothing. Not finding a way to get it.
3 weeks as well.
Not even coming back to me saying, I tell you what, Barry, do you have anything I can sell? What can I do to generate that money?
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't have the money.
And that's it.
So, and that's where it starts. It's not, what can I do to make the money? What can I do to take the steps to get it done? And that's the stopping point for most people.
That will be our next episode. I like what you ended on there. See you guys next week.